What's up, everybody? Tried to record a while ago, I guess. Didn't record it again, so I'm just gonna have to do a quick run through again. Sitting here looking at the pre-market, doing a run through of my sheet, what I need to focus today. The VIX shows the market's expectation of the 30-day volatility. Need to pay attention to the end of the last day. I got my daily charts that I have to look at here. This is coming up on pretty quick here, so I need to pay attention. I was looking at STM at the open here. Had a big run up at another tech stock, kind of following Apple fairly closely here. I'm looking to take it under this breakout point here, but it reached it before, so I'll be looking to get in at 1573 if it gets there. Stop loss would be 10 cents away at the 83. I guess we call it 82. I'll be looking to short it right underneath it here. There's a whole lot of selling. I'm short 500 shares at 74. Stop loss will be at 82. You can see there's a whole lot of selling going on right now. Looking to see it keep moving here. You can see the sellers are stacking up quite a bit. What's Apple? Oh, Apple is crashing right now. The SPY's kind of moving up, but Apple's getting hit pretty hard here. Got 3 million shares sold on it already, and it is just dipping down. Alright, let's cover half here. I'd like to get it at 64. There's a big move. Alright, any bounce here, I'll take some. The buyers are stacking up a little bit here. Alright, took half at 64, got 25. I'll take the rest out. I'll take the rest out at entry. I'd like to see it keep running, of course. SPY's popping up here. Apple's still moving down. Kind of starting to come back a little bit. stalling out here. It's getting weak. It's not looking like it's want to go higher here. I'm thinking this 70 mark might be a pretty good next stop loss. Not much interest in buying. So we got down to 61. Back at 70. I'd like to see it bounce here. Got some big size.
CBX.
Well, it's moving up, but it's not moving up on really anything here. And the SPY is moving up though. Apple's moving up too. And buys are stacking up. Volume's starting to grow a little bit here. I just saved myself a penny, and I'm about to get out of here in a second. Alright, and I am out. $20 trade starting the day. Okay, I am going to be long Tesla here. You can see on the 5 minutes here, it's had a big move up here, and it's making a really nice flag right now. 15's kind of making a bear flag, or a bull flag. You can kind of visualize it here. It's making that consolidating, but still staying tight. And so I'm looking for the big move up here for the break of 63. Right now I got 50 shares. My stop loss will be right below this for 50. I would like to add into this over the break of the 50 mark here. It's kind of turning around on me. See, the volume's looking pretty good here. It's starting to pick back up again. 5 minute volume kind of diminishing, starting to pick up there. 15's got the big big move up. I'm gonna have that in. Yeesh. Well, we got the break of 62. The SPY's been moving up. The sector's been kind of hovering around the last close of the day. It looked pretty solid, especially on the 5s here. So I'm hoping we see it. I don't want to see it under the 361. Kind of coming back again here. We'll see what happens. Don't like that. I think I'm gonna... Okay, we're coming back here. Come back over the 362, just about. I'm really thinking about adding over the 50. Just doubling my size again for the break over the 63 here.
BRKs.
I don't know. I have confidence in it, but I don't think I have that much confidence in it. 5's volume looks good.
Square.
If I did put another 50 in, let's sit here and watch the 5's. The high is 50 on that candle. See, no one's really interested in selling. Yeah.
If we, for tonight, after dinner, we should throw away our other leftovers that have been in there for a while.
Okay. Got a low of 26.25. Got a 30-cent spread here. That's something to keep in mind. I'm shooting down now. I'm starting to wonder if I made my stop loss too tight. SPY's not helping. Sector kinda helping. Yep, can't really make up its mind. Got a red candle after I entered. Kinda getting green. 15 just slowing down. 1 minute definitely slowing down.
square.
There's that huge run up. I'm wondering. Let's see. Back at the 62. Yeah, it keeps hitting that. Here we maybe go. And popped over and came right back. Got the buyer stacking up.
PAYC square.
Just can't seem to get out. Where am I
NVDA RNG.
Yeah, you can see it's kinda matching up with it there. I suppose it hasn't done anything wrong yet. I see the green volume is picking up again. SPY's moving up. Just gotta get away from the 62 level. Popping down to 50. I got that 40-cent spread. I want to see that bid at 62. Oh, there we go. There's the move. So it's risking $1. No reason. Still no reason. Looking good.
NVDA.
Oh, my take half button didn't work. Come on. Took half, taking what I can get.
Square.
I won't let it go below 63. taking the rest. $50 trade, definitely pretty solid. I'm glad that one worked out. Alright guys, I'm going to be done for the day, so let's see. Finishing up the day, 74. Big thing today was, well, I was just trying to make sure that I was taking the best possible trades. So I'm sitting here re-looking at my notes, making sure that I looked at everything right. I definitely paid more attention to bigger size out there, and I'm not gonna say that it did work, but it did somewhat work. So the first trade that I took was STM short. I was looking at it pre-market. This is the 1 minute here. I was taking it. I need the pre-market. Took it under the lows of the pre-market at the 73 here. Got in a little bit early at 76 or 74, saving some pennies with the market order. Had a very nice breakdown. Got all the way down to 61 here. Ended up pulling back a little bit. The price action was looking decent. Sold some at 64 and then the rest at 76 after the breakout over my entry. And obviously, as you can see, it had a really nice move down, and I think something that I needed to pay more attention to is realizing that just because it has this pop-up here doesn't necessarily mean that it's no longer a good trade. One thing that I was thinking about, because obviously you can see it's fairly overextended, gapping down below the 50 there, breaking under this support level there, and even in the pre-market the volume was picking up, and yesterday before the close it was looking good too. So what I was thinking about doing this instead is maybe instead of selling the rest of my position back at break even, maybe I just instead take another half off and scale out a little bit more. So I would have been left with another 125 at the 74 mark, and obviously you can see, I mean, dropped all the way down to what, 32 there. Could have been a much bigger winner if I decided to hold on a little bit more, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. I think the huge indicator here too was the volume. I mean, at the time you couldn't see any of this stuff, but this volume obviously is nothing compared to this initial pullback that it had after this big drop down here and this huge candle. So I think one thing that I should have waited for is a little more volume confirmation, but just the way it goes, something to think about next time, learn from it. The next trade that I took was Tesla. It had this big run up just right in the middle of the day here, and you can see I was drawing some trend lines. It was making a really nice flag here on the 5 minutes. It was looking wonderful, just slowly getting tighter and tighter until we had the big bust up there all the way up to 64.50. I ended up getting in at, where am I at? Ended up getting in at the 162 here for 50 shares with a stop loss under the support of this candle. So right at the break of the 361. I was thinking about adding again into this trade, which definitely would have worked, but what I wanted to do was I wanted to get 50 shares in at the 62, looking for the break of 62, but then some more shares at the 62.50 over here for another 50 shares, and only a $25 stop. I would have sold for a $25 loss if it broke back under the 362. But this obviously had a huge move up right at the break of the 62, or this 22 here. It was kind of struggling to get in and out, but you can see the volume was kind of slowing off here, and then right whenever we were hitting back up the 362, it started building up again, and then we had the big moves up. Ended up taking off my full size lastly at the 63.17. I noticed it popped up. I don't think it was that far popped up whenever I sold, but it was around here. It kind of pulled back a little bit. Decided to just take my 50. Ended up with my $50 on the day. Obviously, it could have been a much bigger winner here. I mean, if I had 50 shares at $62, $2 is $100, so that could have been a $150 winner. But definitely taking what I can get. I missed 3 reversals today, and they were all in the same industry, interestingly enough, but I couldn't pull the trigger on any of them. So the first reversal that I was looking at was this BDX. Had exactly what I was looking for. It wasn't BDX, it was actually BAX first. This is the first one I was looking at. I was noticing it was popping up on my scanner. Had a decent doji here. The price action
NCR.
wasn't clean enough for me to really think about taking it, because you can see on the 5s here, it had the moves up for the reversals, but it kept pulling back down, and then we had this candle here breaking, making a new low for the day, so I decided to just forget about it. Obviously it did end up breaking, turned out to be a pretty decent trade. I believe we got 80, 25. It might have hit a 1-to-1 depending on exactly where it was that I was getting in at, but it was just a little too slow for me. Decided not to pull the trigger. This BDX, also these are all healthcare companies, medical instruments, and the whole industry was red today, but they were all starting to make a pretty good reversal here. Obviously this is just picture perfect, really. I mean, it has the doji right at the bottom, volume still looking okay. I think the only reason I didn't take this one is because I was looking at BAX instead. I mean, clearly this was the much better one to take. Taking it over the high of the whole dollar is usually always a pretty good idea, but I could have gotten half my size in somewhere around these lows here. You can kind of see. I'm not gonna say there's any trap traders in here, because it keeps making new lows and new high lows and then a new low, and then it broke straight over that. Even ended up pushing above the 188, pulled back a little bit, and my entry probably should have been somewhere in here.
NCR.
Looking at the 5s, yeah, somewhere about here too, yeah, because all this resistance is right up in there. Then after we finally broke out of that, it had the big move up here, busting through VWAP, and finally I was looking at MZOR here for actually another reversal down. This is another healthcare in the same industry as those other ones. I was looking at it around here, had a big move up, doji at the top, and it did actually break down. I missed this trade twice. I was thinking about taking it, and for whatever reason I just could not pull the trigger on it. I noticed it was almost a perfect setup here for the trap traders. See, obviously not much volume. That was my issue on this trade, as the volume wasn't anything special really, and then by the time that it did break this 65, which is where I was looking to get in, I was just too late. The volume kind of confirms it there, but I guess I should be fairly happy that I didn't take this trade, because obviously you can see it now, it's been running up. But if I was taking it, I was planning on taking it with a stop loss at 90 with a 65, so that's 25 cents from 65. So I could have gotten a 1-to-1 on it if I'm getting out at 40 here. Popped up again after I missed that trade. I was looking at it again over here for another reversal. You can kind of see these bulls were kind of trapped if it was to pop any lower, but it didn't. So I ended up missing it on this trade too. I was going to do a half size and then a half size again at the break of 27. Just missed it. Didn't think the volume was great enough, and was definitely right in thinking that it wasn't good enough, because it still's continuing on. Looking at the other stocks, you know, BDX obviously moving straight up. It was kind of correlating with this one, helping it move up. But overall, decent Monday, plus 74. Some things that I need to be doing some research on is looking up how I really want to treat stop losses, and if I want to use a hard stop, or why they use hard stops, or the difference between mental and hard stops. I need to look into finding what percentage of my trades hit the full stop. I need to look into reading order flow and scaling into trades. What else? Researching more about trap traders. Looking more into limit orders and whatnot. But finish up 75. Thanks for watching. Be back again tomorrow.